In an interview with the Telegraph's Ukraine, the latest podcast, former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that any possible ceasefire should involve a European peacekeeping mission, including British forces, to defend the front line. I don't think we should be sending in combat troops to take on the Russians, Johnson said. But I think as part of the solution, as part of the end state, you're going to want to have multinational European peacekeeping forces monitoring the border, helping the Ukrainians. Following Donald Trump's 2024 election victory, world leaders are preparing for an abrupt shift in the United States policy on Ukraine, prompting many world leaders to discuss potential outcomes. The Telegraph reported earlier, citing 3 Trump staffers, that Trump may call on British and European troops to enforce a buffer zone that he would try to impose over the current front line in Ukraine as part of a possible peace plan. Johnson, a supporter of Trump, said during his interview that he cannot see that such a European operation could possibly happen without the British. He said, "We need to be spelling out what kind of security guarantees we think are appropriate," Johnson added. Johnson's comments on the potential presence of combat troops in Ukraine come after the French outlet Le Monde reported that the UK and France have been discussing deploying soldiers or private defense contractors in Ukraine following President-elect Donald Trump's victory in the US election. UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy later said that London is not planning to deploy its military personnel on the ground in Ukraine. During the interview, the former Prime Minister said the United Kingdom is morally responsible for Ukraine as a signatory of the 1994 Budapest Memorandum. The agreement obliged Ukraine to give up its nuclear weapons and demilitarize, a move that has failed to protect Ukraine from Russian aggression. The only thing that really works is a NATO Article 5 guarantee that has kept the peace in Europe for 80 years, Johnson said. It's the reason the Baltic states are in NATO. It's the reason that the Poles, Hungarians, Czechs, Finns and the Swedes are now in NATO. A staunch supporter of Ukraine, Johnson previously said that extending NATO membership to Ukraine is the only solution, and it has to be done as the only long-term solution that provides peace and stability.
On the night of November 29, a drone attack took place in the Rostov region of Russia. Local Telegram channels reported this. Ukrainian kamikaze drones struck the Atlas oil base in the Kamenskoye district. As a result of the strike, an explosion and fire occurred in the fuel tanks. There are no reports of casualties. Local residents reported another drone attack on the plant at night. The regional administration said that 30 drones were shot down over the region as a result of the activation of the air defense system, and the remains of the drones fell on residential buildings, damaging them.
Внизу горит вся, глянь. Красота. Давай вали отсюда. Сейчас полыхает, представляешь, ну полная. Ее же, наверное, только лупанули. Красиво, да? Вся горит. Охренеть. С этой стороны теперь горит. Вон с той стороны горела вниз. Она и внизу горит вся, глянь.